Thanks to the support as a channel member, Chris Graves. So this is what the weekends look like on this channel, is it? It's been a long time. Very nice. This is all because you did 5,000 likes on the first episode. So thank you very much to everybody who did that. If you want to leave a like on this one as well, that'd be super. Tell you what, let's go crazy. 5,000 likes on this one. We'll do a weekend episode next weekend as well. I think that's fair. Hello, welcome to part 5 of Wembley to Wembley. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have 2 games for you in the league because we've been knocked out of all the cups. We're away against Risborough Rangers and at home against Ardley United. Since you were last with me, though, am I delighted to say? I'm a little bit embarrassed to say the Devils formation very much works. It caused me so much pain in Non-League to Legend, but it's causing so much pleasure in this series. We have picked up a lot of wins. We are scoring a lot of goals. We still lost to Reading City, which is a little bit upsetting, but the league table is starting to look a lot healthier than it was over the last couple of episodes. We're in 7th place after 16 games, so closing in on the halfway point of the season. 7th place, 27 points, just the 1 point behind the aforementioned Reading City. The board are looking for us to get into the playoffs this year. We are right on the cusp of the playoffs now, so it is starting to look the way it was supposed to look. Although, to be fair, the board have now become disappointed again. I mean, what do you want from me? I mean, okay, it's clear what you want from me. You want me to get into the playoffs. We are 1 point behind, though, so it's not like we're miles away. Goodness me. Talking of miles away, Risborough Rangers. Never heard of them. So they're based in a place called Prince's Risborough. I'm not even sure where that is, but looking at their Wikipedia page, I'm really interested that their record attendance, was over their capacity. That's not that unusual, but it was versus Showbiz Team in 1992. I can't find any more evidence of who or what Showbiz Team was. Let me know down in the comments section. I need to know about Showbiz Team. But this is where Prince's Risborough is. We're getting further and further away from London with some of these teams. I really thought we were going to be much more regional than this. But if we have a little look to see where they are, very close to the train station, that's convenient. And just in the middle of loads of grass. Are we next to a cricket field again? Cricket field? Cricket pitch? I'm not a cricket guy. But it looks like it's a very fancy looking sports club. This is not a road. Surely this is not a road. How do you see the football pitch? Here we go. We've got a sign here. So, we are a friendly local tennis club. So they're a tennis club, and then somewhere behind the tennis club, there is a football stadium. Stadium's generous. A football pitch, which I feel like this might be secondary to the tennis, and there's definitely cricket going on here as well. Let's go to Risborough. And this is the team that we're going to be sending there. We are pretty established in this Devils formation, the 4-2-2-2 at this point. Whelan's in goal, a back four of Black, Obama, Kinwer, Nielsen and Turner. Martin and Brush in midfield. Martin, the first one of our players who we're giving new positions to be good enough in his position to actually start playing there regularly. He's now an accomplished defensive midfielder as well as being natural in central midfield and attacking midfield. I've said for years that if a player can play central midfield, he can also do the other 2 roles as well. Maybe not brilliantly, but all midfielders should be able to do that. It always baffles me when you get a central midfielder who can't play as a defensive midfielder, or the worst one, a right back who can't play left back or can't play right wing back. Absolute madness. The wing backs who can't play full back. What's that? And then ahead of him, we've got Pearce and Stewart as we're resting Josh Hamilton today off the back of a heavy match workload. So we're trying to rotate a little bit because we've got quite a lot of matches coming up. We had a weird fixture thing where in November we only actually played 1 match. We had 30 days between Bedfont Sports and the Edgware and Kingsbury games. But now we're getting into December. They're coming really quickly, 16th, 19th, 23rd. So we are trying to rotate a little bit because obviously we can't rest players from training because they don't really train. So this is the way we're doing it. Stewart and Pearce, then behind Warren and Garrick up front. Lincoln Garrick, after bursting into the team in one of the previous episodes, has become the striker that we wanted all along. 9 goals from 11 starts, 7.38 average rating. That's what we were looking for. He still doesn't know what to do if he takes the ball wide, but he just doesn't take the ball wide. That's the key. Just encourage him to stay in the middle, and you know, he's quite effective from there. This is a big game for us as well, because as you saw, the board are being weird. I'm down at Wembley on Monday. I'm going to have a word with them about these unrealistic expectations and just how close we are to them, because this is unacceptable. But Risborough are up in 3rd place in the league, so it's a team that if we make it to the playoffs, it's the sort of team we're going to be competing with when we get there. But also, if we are going to close that gap, we need to be beating these kind of teams, the teams who are above us, because it's the easiest way to close down the gap between us and them. That has come off the back of Obama. That's our best player, boys and girls. He's turned around the wrong way. It's hit him in the heel and given the ball back to the opposition. That is a long way from ideal, and that was a pretty poor finish that we've got away with there. But goodness me, that wasn't ideal by any stretch of the imagination. But it remains 0-0. If we were able to pick up a win over them today, we'd go level on points with them. So I think they unless we absolutely smash them, they've got a better goal difference than us, so we probably wouldn't go above them. But it would certainly get us up into this playoff mix and get the board off my back, for goodness sake. Sorry, board, it took me 4 or 5 games to figure out a system that worked with these players that I've never met before and wasn't able to sign any new ones. But if you look at our recent form, I think you've got plenty of reasons to be cheerful as we head into the festive period. Still 0-0 as we move towards half-time. I mean, we have been poor today. Only a 0.06 XG off the first half, 1 shot on target. Although we might be about to add another one here. It's the ball forward from Obama when Nielsen heads it straight up in the air. We've hit the post. Who was that? Was that Nielsen, I think, from the edge of the area? Having the shot that comes back off the post, it's probably the best chance of the half, certainly for us. But it does remain 0-0 at half-time. I don't know why that league table's just popped up. Does that normally happen? Did I press something? I think I pressed that by mistake. But we do need to... we need to figure something out in this second half. Although I guess in isolation, an away game against a team above us in the league, a draw is always a good result in this kind of match. So I don't think we can complain too much if this ends 0-0. I certainly won't complain. I don't think you'll complain. The board, on the other hand, might complain. So if we can grab ourselves a late winner, I mean, we're talking about us not really generating any chances. Risborough not had a shot on target yet, although they have got a set piece in a dangerous area at the moment. Sean Martin needs to come off. Smith can come on for him. That's an easy like-for-like change. We're also going to get Canerva on up front, who still hasn't recaptured that form that he had in that very first appearance where we all fell in love with him and had huge high hopes for him, and he's never really reached those heights again. He's obviously still young enough to force his way back into the team on a regular basis. At 16 years old, you don't expect him to start all the time. But it's been disallowed. Yeah, at 16 years old, you don't expect him to start all the time, but we have got a few 16-year-olds that do. Pierce being the main star of the show at the moment, only 16 years old. So we would very much like Canerva to grab the winner. He missed a 96th minute penalty on that little run of matches that we had as well. So that was unfortunate. But Garrick is in here and he's central. You know what that means? Oh, that's the second time today we've hit the frame of the goal. Oh, that was a save. Goodness me, that was a good save then. Turner with the corner. The lesser spotted out-swinging corner coming in from Turner. We telegraph it a little bit by sending the right footer over here to take the right-hand side corner. Oh, wow, we've got aliens as well. I haven't seen the aliens forever. This is further demonstration that the aliens are a problem at small grounds. Thankfully, it's not been a problem at our ground because I've not seen them at all yet in this series. But I guess Risborough have got aliens, probably because they're really a tennis club. They don't take their football seriously. So because of that, the aliens have got something to say to them. Right, because of injuries and resting and rotation, all we've got left on the bench now is 3 defenders. So... I mean, I guess we'll bring on Matthew Roberts at left back just to have a different left back on for the last 10 minutes or so. I don't think any of those 3 options we had down there were going to be game changers, though. As ever, my bench selection. I pay attention to the first 11. The bench, at least I managed to take the goalkeeper off of it, but clearly I've just replaced him with another defender. That is a poor goal kick, and we're going to get a chance here. It's with Pearce, who, with 1 minute of added time left, has decided to have a shot from the tennis club, effectively, and it ends 0-0. Like I say, in isolation, not a terrible result. In our circumstances, in context, it would have been handy to pick up the win, but we're now level on points and 1 point outside the playoffs. Surely the board, no, they're still disappointed. Well, let's just make sure we beat Ardley United then, who are down in 12th place, and we're at home, and our home form has been incredible. I'm touching wood here. In the league, we haven't yet lost a home game. We are at Fortress Wembley, and hopefully I haven't just jinxed it, and that continues now against Ardley. So a little bit more rotation for the Ardley game then. Smith and Antwi are going to be our centre-back partnership for this one. We've also brought Hamilton back in behind the front two, and we're swapping them two over because on further inspection, and those of you who fiddle with tactics all the time probably know this, but having Garrick on the advanced forward one, he is more likely to drift wide, whereas as a poacher, he's more likely to stay in the middle. I feel like on some level I already knew that, but he's hopefully going to be more effective playing in that role. That's the hope. I am conscious that I've just talked about how he scored nearly a goal a game since being in the team, so I probably shouldn't fiddle with it too much. So if it's clear it's not working, we will swap them back again. But I think for today, against a team who are a little bit lower down the league that we should be beating, a home match, this is the time to experiment a little, he says, with youngsters playing together at centre-back. That proper experimentation. In other news as well, Pearce, no longer 16. He's just had his 17th birthday over the Christmas period as well. Always a little unfortunate that you have your birthday over the Christmas period. I wonder if he got two presents or a double present that's not actually as big as two presents. James Warren has benefited from the change straight away because he's grabbed himself an early goal. He's now playing in the moving around a bit more role, and maybe moving around a bit more suits him. 6th goal of the season for him. Good work on the left-hand side from Black, as usual. Definitely an unsung hero of the team. Can he count as an unsung hero if I mention him every episode? The game doesn't think he's very good at all. His star rating is bobbins, but he always plays well in the match engine, and that's how we judge players around here. We start judging them with star ratings, but then we start to ignore the star ratings and just go with how we see them play. We don't worry about average ratings or the statistics or anything like that. We're on key highlights, and I judge my players based on what I see in the 4 or 5 little flashes of them in every match. And I think that's entirely reasonable. Turner wins the ball back, lays it off to Pearce, and Pearce looking for the ball forward. I mean, Dom Pearce is not going to be long for non-league, is he? What a pass that was to Garrick, and then it goes to Hamilton, cut back to Sean Martin, a 5th goal of the season for him. But that all stems from what? A 70-yard pass from Dom Pearce? Absolutely insane. And Garrick, drifting wide, but actually knew what to do. Played it across to Hamilton. I thought Hamilton would shoot, but he plays it across to Martin. And Martin, a little fortunate by a terrible piece of goalkeeping, but we'll take fortune. 2-0. Can we have that reflect in the league table, please? Somehow we've moved down a spot. We were 6th after the last game. We're now down to 7th, and we're 2-0 up. Football is bonkers. Right, Garrick playing it to Pearce. Pearce is everywhere. And now Antwi to Martin. Martin, a little bit of a loose ball from him, and Turner got in a little bit of trouble, but Kevin Smith, not that one, wins the ball back. And now Black looking for options ahead of him. There aren't any, so he's just going to run with it. Lays it into Hamilton. Hamilton now bursts through 2 players, and Warren's just pulled up injured there. He just crumbled. We've hit the post, but I think Warren's going off injured here. Something's happened to him, because there was no one near him, and he just crumbled to the ground. Yeah, proper injury, foot injury. Canerva is going to get his opportunity, and we're actually going to swap them back over because Canerva very much better as the poacher, according to his little attribute analysis thing that we get on his profile page. So Garrick got 20 minutes playing as the poacher. Canerva's over there now. Garrick back in the role that he's been scoring all these goals from. And if that's a proper injury to Warren, and it looks like it probably is, because to go down red injured 20 minutes in and have to come straight off, he's definitely not playing next week, is he? So Canerva's going to get a couple of matches, and this is going to be an opportunity for him to try and nail down a spot while Warren is unavailable. But 2-0 up, still less than half an hour gone. We're playing very well so far, so fingers crossed we don't get derailed by our captain going off injured. Turner, looking for, it's similar to what Black did before, looking for an option ahead of him. There wasn't one, so decides to try and beat his man. We obviously don't have any width going forward, but we do dominate this central area, and Pearce plays the roles of 2 or 3 men in this midfield. And now Antwi, one of the other youngsters, across to Smith, and now Black, ball over the top to Garrick. He's got Canerva in the middle if he can find him. Garrick plays it back to Hamilton. Hamilton's fouled, surely. Apparently not. That's almost on the same spot where Warren picked up his injury as well. Maybe that spot is just cursed. Garrick's in, brings it down beautifully, and Lincoln Garrick scores. I mean, it looked like he caught it with his hands, but the referee and the linesman haven't picked up on it. Let's have a look at it from the other angle. I think this comes over the top and he basically catches it. And, he's gripped it between his testicles rather than actually catching it, I think. But still surprised he got away with it. But it is a good finish. He's kept himself onside as well. Good work from Garrick. That is excellent ball control, I think we'll call that. I'm not proud of myself, but it is the weekend. You wanted a weekend upload. This is what you're going to get off the back of a weekend upload, boys and girls. 3-0 up. This has been one of our better performances of the season. We are in full domination mode at the moment, and it's not that Ardley, they've scored. Don't speak. We can just watch the rest of the game in silence. You don't feel that you have to say words just to fill empty air, Kev. Especially if they're words that are going to tempt the game into making you look like a silly goose. 3-1, still not worried at the moment. You don't scare me, Football Manager. They've only had 1 shot on target. Yes, they scored it. We are kind of used to that. Whelan's, I'm sure when I meet him, I'll love him. Digital Whelan's, probably going to be one of the first things replaced at this football club. Hamilton with the free kick, and he scores a 7th goal of the season for him. It's 4-1 before half-time, and that, boys and girls, is job done. But despite a really efficient performance in the first match, and then a really dominant performance in this match, we're still not in the playoffs. The good teams at this level, they win a lot, don't they? That's probably the case at most levels of football, but the good teams, they don't drop points very often. We have to be absolutely relentless. And we kind of have been. If you look back, I showed you the schedule for the last couple of months. We've kind of been relentless for a little while now. And it's still not getting us where we want to be. I just hope the board have a little bit of patience. Imagine if I got sacked for being 6th in the league off the back of a run of like 1 defeat in 10 games and playing the way we're playing today. This is good work from Canerva. And his finishing is supposed to be his one good attribute. He did everything right there until the finish. I think for many years, I've made the argument that finishing doesn't matter. And I'm starting to worry that Canerva might be a science experiment designed to prove me right, which normally I'd be on board with. Love being right. But at this point, would love a homegrown striker to be a 30-goal a season man. I want the new Mick Powell. We've talked about him on one of the previous episodes. I really want another Mick Powell. He was a channel legend. He was so legendary. We had a Funko Pop made of him. So I want another one. But I don't know if Canerva's going to be that man. And if you do remember back to the original home series, those of you who've been around a long time, Mick Powell was not in the team until last couple of matches of that first season when he did a Mick Powell. So maybe the future Mick Powell is still sat in our reserves, still sat in our youth team, or maybe because here's the aliens again, so they have turned up at our place. That's weird that this is 20 matches I've played in this save, had not had the issue at all. This morning, we're having the issue. I wonder if there's been some kind of graphics driver update overnight or something, or a Football Manager patch. I'm recording this on Thursday. It's Thursday today that I'm recording this. So maybe I need to update my graphics drivers. I hate the aliens. I hate them so much. Right. 4-1 still. They've derailed me now. I forget what I was saying. We have... Oh, look how good we've been. We've been very good. We are level on points with Risborough. Right. Let's score another 3 or 4 goals. We want to catch up on goal difference with them. How are they doing today? Risborough. Couldn't find them. Brilliant. Right. It is another Ardley highlight is the word that I'm looking for there. And we've given away a penalty. Who's that? Turner. Turner's been good since bringing him into the team, but he is a little clumsy at times, and he's shown it there. And now we need a big... Whelans can redeem himself here with a big penalty save. No, he can't. 4-2. I'm still not worried. I don't think they're getting back into the game. But we have had some mad fixtures already this season because, you know, non-league defending, non-league goalkeeping, it's generally chaos. So, who have we got on the bench that we can come on? Dom Pearce, I think, probably needs a rest. Stephen Stewart is going to come on for him. Another guy who very much is in need of a surname. We've got a few of them around this place. But Kevin Smith, not that one, with the free kick. And now Black, forward, looking for Stewart. He couldn't quite get under it. I can see what he was trying to do. He wanted the flick on to Canerva, but couldn't quite get to it. And Smith is there to clean up again afterwards. Turner now with the ball forward. He's no Dom Pearce, is he, with the long-range passing? But now Stewart, who's looking like he's very keen to get involved in the action, having come on the pitch, been involved in this highlight multiple times over. And now it's Ardley coming down our right-hand side. If they score here, I might start to worry. They've got in. That's a lovely goal. Oh, well, this is alarming now. And weirdly, our back four is largely playing quite well. But remember, our centre-back partnership is not our regular centre-back partnership. Being a Mr. Clever Clogs, as I am, I'm trying to rotate and rest players in tier 9. And it might be coming back to bite me. Have we got one of the proper defenders on the bench? We've got Obamakim. Obamakim was coming on for the last 10 minutes. I think that's probably sensible. Turner can come off. We'll put Smith out to right back. He's played there a few times this season. And Obamakim, our best player, our best defender, can hopefully come on and just add a little bit of experience and a little bit of organisation to the back four for these final few minutes of the match. Ardley have actually got a higher XG than us. And frustratingly, again, as part of my ongoing Whelans review, 4 shots on target, 3 goals. Please, won't you make a save? Oh, if they equalise here, I've done a victory speech. Black heads it sort of clear, but it's still with Ardley. Stewart can't get the tackle in. Cross comes over. Obamakin, well, that's what we brought him on for. And now Stewart to Garrick. And now Canerva is through on goal. Surely Canerva's going to get a goal. Where's the 17 finishing that this boy has got? Oh, my word. He's going to be a frustration forever, isn't he? And I'm going to keep pushing him because he's homegrown. But he is. I feel like he's going to frustrate me for 5 years and just get released at 21. Having not really been in the team for a year and we kind of forgot about him. But, still outside the playoffs as well. The board are still disappointed. Brilliant. Right, it is about to be January. It obviously doesn't make a difference to us at this level. There's no transfer windows and we can't do any transfers at all until like 4 games before the end of the season anyway. So we're just going to play on as if January is not happening. The rest of the footballing world, of course, will be waking up on the 1st of January able to do transfers for the first time because we had them disabled for the first transfer window. But we'll get through another 4 or 5 matches, probably get towards the end of January, check in again, and fingers crossed, be actually in the playoffs by then, so the board get off my back. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.